correct me if I'm wrong, but is your first album called Johnny Gill? And your
Yeah.
third album called Johnny Gill?
Sometimes I forget my name. And I just want to make sure everybody else remember too. Shit.
Yeah, I'm looking at this going like, wait a minute, this album sounds familiar. Right? Did I miss something here? And I mean,
shit, who knew?
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis had their hands all over this. Babyface,
Yeah.
had his
First
hands
time
all over
ever.
this.
The two of them, the two hottest producers.
Mm-hmm.
And people always thought that they had this rivalry. That was never the case.
Right.
They were the ones that actually that came and joined forces and volunteered to put this album together through my papa, Clarence Avant.
Yeah. We'll talk about him at the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
my dad.
That was awful.
Yeah, they were the ones that he brought all of that together with them. But I had personal relationships with both of them, and they wanted to see this work. And of course, Papa he was the one to put all of it together.
Well, you got nominated for a Grammy for this album for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance. You end up losing to Luther Vandross.
And I lost to my buddy. And I'll never forget.
I mean, not a bad person to lose to. It's
Exactly.
not like you lost to Milli Vanilli. Like you lost to a serious singer, right?
Yeah, but here and now, and I'll never forget. Luther used to have these movie nights where everybody used to come. He would invite the who's who, and I'll never forget one time going over and he used to have this thing where he have all of his Grammys at, and walked in, looked at it, saw my Grammy, I said, "Give me my goddamn Grammy." He looked at me and he yells, "Security!"
Were you and Luther close?
Yeah, that was my buddy, man. Let me tell you. Luther didn't, he was, I wouldn't call him a recluse, but Luther didn't mess with too many people. He wouldn't, every time he would get ready to release a song, he would call me, play it for me. Mm-hmm. And we used to just be talking trash. And let me tell you something about Luther. Luther, when I tell you about funny people, Luther missed his calling. You want to talk about quick?
Oh, he was a comedian.
Fast. Yo, he can hit you. Fast too. And he would call me, go, "Yo, I want to, what do you think about this one? This song, I'm getting ready to release this. I'm thinking about releasing this as a single." And I, talk trash and say stuff like, "I think that shit sucks." You know what? I think though would help it if you give it to me.
So you just tell you suck right to your face, right? So give me that song.
So yeah, he was he was the one that introduced me and taught me about painting the picture. That means painting the empty canvas, understanding what tone is and how to tell a story. The two greatest vocalists to me, that's the greatest storytellers to me, I have to say Luther and Lionel Richie.
Okay.
Those two
can
paint. They're just the ultimate when it comes to painting a picture and telling a story, and with their music. And I remember him telling me one day, and he was like, "My all-time favorite Johnny Gill song," and I was like, "What?" He was like, the song "Baby It's You," and that was off the duet album with Stacey, and I was like, "What?" And he said, "Yeah," and I said, "I don't get it." I said, "What is it that you like about it?" He was like, "It was your tone and the way that your phrasing." And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm going, tone and phrasing. I'm like, shit, I just sang a song. I wasn't thinking about what I was doing, but it began to make me understand and start paying attention to more of his music more than anything, and started watching and listening to how he would tell the story.
Luther was very kind of private with his life.
Yeah.
There was rumors of him being gay or bisexual. I remember even reading an interview by him, and he was like, "So are you asking if I'm bi-coastal?" "Yes. I have a house in New York and LA." Next question.
I love it. And, all the years that I've been knowing him, never asked him.
Yeah.
Never thought about, nor did I even care. Listen, I have so many friends that are from all walks of life. And I've never walked in front of or behind or felt like, oh no, I'm worried about whatever. I'm like, I don't listen,
Yeah.
whatever you want to be, whatever that's you, that's your life. I've always been taught as a kid who grew up in church and my dad being a minister and understanding that you treat people according to the way that they treat you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care.
Yeah.
I went for years of hearing people talking about, oh, Johnny's gay and Eddie and Tommy. And I heard that shit for years.
You haven't made it unless you have a gay.
Unless you have a gay.
When I heard my first Vlad is gay rumor, I said, I've made it. I have come to the promised land.
Dude, for years.
I'm being accused of being gay. Therefore, I have a level of celebrity that I have a straw for. Yeah, because I mean, there was the rumors about you and Eddie, but there was also rumors about Eddie and Arsenio.
You know, it was like all of us. It was like you just,
everybody.
and it's like,
you know, and I think the sad part is that a lot of people weaponize that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
I've had fights with you know, significant others when they would get mad at me. Like, oh, you're gay. Like, it's like, oh, okay. So,
but
so
you
this
know
is
why
how
they
you're going to
do
take it
that?
out on me? Like, you know I'm
but
not
you know
gay.
why?
But
When you think about why people would do that, they do it because most of the time when you're dealing with a heterosexual guy, man, part of what they think could be your worst thing, and for most men, growing up as a kid, myself too, not knowing any better, sometimes you know, to be called something that you're not. And of being accused, when you're a man, that's probably the ultimate that you could do to a man, that's call a man, you know, that's a man's man, is gay. Until you begin with growing up and beginning to understand. And the reason why it made me, because in the beginning I kept doing like any other man. I kept going, who the fuck is saying this shit? And whoever it is, I'm gonna whip their ass and blah, blah, blah. And you say, yeah, come in my face and shit. It's all that stuff.
right.
And you began to realize and understand that I understand now in an odd, strange way what they went through and what they go through. Because imagine watching people that you would encounter and you're looking at them or they're talking about or thinking and you could see what they're thinking and thinking, oh, they think, oh, I heard that somebody told me that I don't want to sign him because I heard that he's gay and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, get the fuck out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah.
You know, and you begin to understand what they went, what gay people go through and have gone through. And it really helps. It makes you more sensitive to their fight.
Right.
And so I began to understand that sometimes God put us in places and began to make us walk through situations. And so we can also have an understanding of each other and of people. So, and that really taught me, because I'm going to tell you, I lied to you not. As a kid and growing up and being heterosexual, you're around your boys. We used to be using those words loosely. Oh, shut up, fag ass motherfucker. Shut up, gay. We would do, because you don't know any better.
Yeah.
You don't know any better, but until you get thrust into that situation and begin to recognize and understand, there's nothing funny about that. There's nothing that you should, and to understand that you got to treat people. I don't care who they are, what they choose to do. You got to treat everybody with the same level of respect, no matter what their preferences are.
I agree.
And so as I got older and began to understand all of it, then I reached the point where I was just like, well, I said, well, you know, if you think I'm gay, then I'm like, listen, you're more than welcome, because nobody's ever stepped to me and they've sit in my face and they've said, hey, you're gay, blah, blah, blah. And I've often said, and I used to tell everybody, I'm like, if you think I'm gay and you want to come and talk back to me or think that means I'm a sign of weakness or you're accusing me of what you accuse me of, I'm like, hey, come talk to me, come step to me. And if you walk away on 2 feet, I'll be whatever you want me to be. Not a problem.